Hi, everyone, and welcome back to what you said,
I'm saying hello, everyone.
and welcome back to Ejima. I see there's already 7 of y'all on here. Thank you guys all for joining. We know it's been a while. We haven't gone live in like almost 2 months for very good reasons. So we're back, we're refreshed, we're ready to go. Every Tuesday, join us at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. in Guzzy's time. What's y'all time called? I don't know about Texas time. What's that called?
Central.
Central Time. Okay. And yeah, so thank you guys all so much. Don't forget to like the video. Okay. And we'll get started. So this weekend was very, very eventful. Ngazi and I visited the wonderful city of Atlanta, Georgia. And I have not been, I couldn't believe it, but I have not been to Atlanta since last September. So almost a year I've not been to Atlanta. And I guess most people would understand maybe why it's so surprising. I used to go to Atlanta like at least every few months. Like I'm in Charlotte. For y'all don't know that I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. So I'd at least go to Atlanta about 4 times a year since I've lived in Charlotte. So this time I took a year break. Things life been life in, and I had so much fun. So while we're in Atlanta, me and Guzzy kept talking about it, and and Guzzy, me and her, we argue, we're a bit stubborn. But I'm like, and Guzzy, you're so right. Like some of the stuff I'm not doing, it's not that I don't care to do it. Charlotte, North Carolina doesn't have it. That's just the truth.
Like
So
good,
when
like good food.
in Zara, good food in Zara. So I was like, I used to think that these things I was not doing these things because, oh, I'm just so mature. I'm over it. I'm tired of it. I've been there, done that. Yeah, that may be part of
I
it.
don't care about it.
I don't care about it. That's immature. Yeah, that may be part of it, but also I've been very deprived, right? So we decided to talk about why I would never move to Atlanta, right? Because we've talked about this topic before and it got a lot of engagement. And Atlanta is compared often to the city of Houston, Texas, that my twin sister and Guzzy moved to 2 years ago while I was living in Charlotte, North Carolina,
Yeah,
right?
yep, yeah.
So a lot of people, when they're thinking about moving, like Charlotte's kind of on the come up, and Guzzy calls me the Charlotte ambassador. But this weekend we went to Atlanta because there was a conference called Umu Igbo Unite, and they do it every year. It's for Igbo people, like our tribe. Igbo's a tribe in Nigeria, Southeast Nigeria. And every year they pick a different city to have this convention. So this year, I think it was was it the 20th or 25th anniversary? It was some type
20.
of big 20th. So they had it in Atlanta. So I was like, okay, I haven't been in Atlanta in almost a year. It's so convenient. It's right there. Why not? Like, what is there to lose? Why would I be driving distance away from the convention and not go? I haven't been to that convention in 3 years. Last time I went, ironically, was when it was in Houston. And that was before Ngozi moved to Houston. And so I think when a lot of people are thinking about moving, Atlanta and Houston are like two options a lot of people are looking at, right? Like people that like Houston, I feel like they're also kind of looking at Atlanta. People that like Atlanta, they're also kind of looking at Houston, right? So I'll hand it over to Ngozi because she lives in the city of Houston, and me and her always have an argument that I tell her I prefer Atlanta over Houston. Even though I've never lived in any of the cities, I've never lived in Houston, I've never Atlanta, I've visited both, and for some reason, I just personally like the vibe of Atlanta much better. And Ngozi always argues that she believes that Houston, in her opinion, is a little bit more upscale, and Atlanta is ratchet. So another thing a lot of people talk about moving to Atlanta, if you're a heterosexual female, we all know we talked about. I learned about trade from y'all in the comments in the last video. We talked about all of this. A lot of women are scared about Atlanta because they do have a high population of men who are a part of the LGBTQ community, right? So they're thinking if I'm trying to be partnered and I'm single, why would I move to a city that has so many men that are probably even on the down low or straight up just not looking at women? So this is a conversation a lot of people have, like, should I choose Atlanta? Should I choose Houston? Again, I still stand on this hill. If I had to choose right now, I just think, in my opinion, Atlanta is better than Houston. Okay,
Mm,
Inga's your turn.
so I'll take over. Yes, I know. We know that as anti-Houston, we know that one. But I always say, like I said, with anything, is that what makes people not get what they want is having unrealistic expectations and not being honest about what they really want, right? And I always say for any major city like Houston or Atlanta, there's a lot of things to do. It depends on what you want to do, what you're looking for, and what you like. right? It depends on, like, everyone is different. So when people say, oh, should I move here? Should I move there? You have to be honest about what's really important to you. You have to be honest about what you're looking for in a city. For me personally, of course, I'm in Houston. I do prefer Houston. Atlanta is always, it's a great city. It's always somewhere you're gonna have so much fun. I always look at it as somewhere to go and have a lot of fun. And it was a really, really fun weekend. But me personally, I do prefer Houston. Of course, I'm here, right? And there's other reasons, but I'm a Igbo girl. I'm a money girl, and you just starting to us off the numbers. When people go to the South, people have this idea that things are so cheap, and yes, it is for the most part compared to like up north, like New York, New Jersey, but it's not as cheap as people think, right? So what's always going to get me with Texas overall is a no state income tax. Filled up my gas tank today, Costco 2.79 a gallon, regular gas, and I'm even like, it could be lower, right? And I can't recall, we did it in Atlanta, but it was more. I think it was three some, and it was at Costco, so it was like $3 or 3.10 or whatever. So Houston, Texas overall to me is just a great state. I always say it. I'm not bound anywhere. You know, my parents aren't here. At the end of the day, I like to keep an open mind, but I don't. I understand why a lot of people, even have family members, cousins, where they're not crazy about where they are, but they're not pressed to move, because moving is a big thing, especially as you get older. There's a lot involved. It's expensive, right? So I always say I'll be very open to move somewhere else in Texas if the time came, the good opportunity came. But I really, really enjoy Houston. Atlanta's a great city, a lot of fun, a lot of things to do. But I just think if I was to go into reasons why I prefer Houston, of course, I would say cost. I like the fact Houston, Atlanta does still get cold. It doesn't get cold, but it still has like a winter. You know me, I don't like cold weather like at all. Like I'm good off of that. It's not bad, right?
You like extreme heat?
It was still hot. It was sweltering in Atlanta this weekend. I felt like I was talking about cousins at work. I feel like I'm in Houston. Like, yeah, it may be a couple degrees cooler, but it was still humid. I was like, wow, like this really feels like Houston heat. Like it's so hot. So of course they may not have the extreme weather issue we have, and that's one of the things that's turned me off about Houston recently. I have my whole separate video on that. The changes that I've been noticing, especially when it pertains to the weather and the extreme weather, that of course is a turn off. We've had a lot of storms already this year, but what I of course like diversity. Atlanta is a great place for, especially for Black people, it's the Black Mecca. No one can argue that. But Houston, of course, is more diverse, right? Like that's not even an argument.
You
like,
have facts to back this up, or this is just
I have facts. It's even people like it's like even just looking at the city type people you see, like it's not as diverse as Houston. It's not like they can't, and there's nothing wrong with that. Some people, not everybody wants diversity. That's something that we a term that's been put out to kind of like I guess promote a lot of things in places, but there are people that are okay with diversity is not a top line thing for them. They're okay without that, and that's fine. But yeah, like, and even like the suburbs, I don't know. Atlanta was, it's just somewhere I've never honestly looked at as a place to live. Like that's me being honest. I just always look at it as a place to visit and have fun, but it just never really moved me because I was visiting Atlanta before I moved to Houston. And it was just like, yeah, this is cool, this is fun, but I never looked at it as a place to live.
So what about Houston is so wow that when you visited, you feel like Charlotte didn't have, Atlanta didn't have, New Jersey didn't have, all the places you were going didn't have? What was so special?
I'm listening to cost of living, weather, the people. I do even after being in Atlanta, I feel like people in Houston are very like friendly. Like it's very like people are not like, I don't know the word. What's the word I'm looking for? Like people are really like taking time to like live life. Like, we talk about like people, but like you can go to school or school can go through you. Like some people are like Nicki Minaj has a line, to live doesn't mean you're alive. Like some people are living and some people are existing. Being in New Jersey, I feel like people are just existing. Like they're not really living life. Being in Houston, people are living. Like people are living, like they're living life. Like it doesn't trust. I can make a video talking about my issues in Houston. Nowhere is perfect. We say that all the time. Everywhere comes with its pros and its cons. But I like the energy in Houston. I feel like it's very business friendly. There's a lot of money to be made. I think it's a great city. It's not perfect. It has issues, but I think it's a great city. But back to Atlanta, if you're like I said, I always look at Atlanta as a place to visit, have fun. I never look at Atlanta as a place to live. And that is, I don't know why.
I don't know why either, because Atlanta and Houston remind me so much of each other. So I feel like if someone could live in Houston, they could live in
the other. So they are different. They're cousins, like we discussed. They're cousins, but I feel like to be honest, in my opinion, we have people in here that live in Atlanta. Where is Little
Where's Haven? Where's Haven?
Yeah, because Haven, yeah, right. Even Haven, right? Even Haven, she commented. I was telling her, come to Houston. She's like, no, she thinks Atlanta's a better fit. She going to Atlanta, and in a couple weeks, she's commenting that she thinks she's coming to Houston. And I'm telling you, like, I met a girl a year ago, last summer, and she was living in Atlanta for 8 years. A light girl, she's like, yeah, I'm in Atlanta 8 years, and I just prefer Houston. It's so much more upscale. Like Atlanta is like, it's just not, it's ghetto, and she wasn't the most like uppity girl. You know what I mean? This is not someone that's saying this as someone who maybe people would even consider her to be a bit ratchet. And she's like, I don't like going out, the vibe, the scene, the people. Like, I just get tired of it. Like, I prefer Houston way more. So it's not just me saying a lot of people come from Atlanta even to Houston. Like, there's, you know what I mean? So they're similar. Like I said, they're cousins, but they're different. It's a bit of, I think Houston's a little bit, it is not a little bit. It's Houston, of course, is bigger, right? So that also may help. Some people may feel like Atlanta is too small, especially imagine like social life, people who go out all the time, talk about like
Look at
Nigerian
what happened on
things.
Saturday, how we bumped into someone that I met a year
Right,
ago.
like just to feel like Atlanta is we one more time we did that live. Charlotte is bigger than Atlanta.
I still can't believe that sounds so
The
crazy to
city,
me.
yes, the actual city, not the metro area, but the actual city of Charlotte is bigger than Atlanta. So people hear Atlanta, you feel like it's this huge place, like it's big, but it's not that big. So I can imagine for people that are, been there for a while, you go out, you start seeing the same thing, doing the same stuff. What I can say, I really like Atlanta has really cute establishments, and that a lot of them are like black owned, right? And that's what a lot of no other city can brag about that at the level that Atlanta can. And like I said, Atlanta's the black mecca. Like we have HBCUs, the top HBCUs there. You have like Black Hollywood there. You have so many things that always happen in Atlanta. Like, it's a great city. I will not sit here and talk down on it, but like I said, I never just viewed it as somewhere like, oh, I want to live in Atlanta. Like, I've never had that feeling like, oh, I want to live in Atlanta. Never.
Okay, I think that's fair because I never had that feeling either with Houston or Atlanta. And I was talking to my friend the other day, yesterday. I was like, I know sometimes you may think that I don't want to be around because we can't see you. I was telling her like I know sometimes you may think that I'm like don't want to be around Nigerians, but I was like, the funny part is I purposely moved to Charlotte because I wanted a place that didn't have as much Nigerians. So that's why I never viewed Atlanta or Houston as where I wanted to move. And I know it sounds terrible because I love being Nigerian American. I love my culture, but maybe coming from New Jersey and there just being so much people and then so many people in your business and everyone knows your family and everyone, I just felt like, okay, let me try somewhere different. And let me try something that's like still a lot going on, but not too much. And that's why I chose the city of Charlotte, North Carolina. So, like, everyone has their reason why they pick the cities that they pick. But the older I get, and I guess just going to Atlanta this weekend, I kind of felt like, maybe I could live here. Like, maybe I do like it. Like, maybe I could see myself here, like maybe in the suburbs, obviously not in the like the city area as I with a family or whatnot. I was like, maybe I could do this Atlanta thing because I just had a lot of fun. And I was like, I don't have this much fun in Charlotte. I just really, really don't. I do not have this much fun in Charlotte. And I had a lot of fun in Atlanta. Just basic things like going to Zara. Obviously, we don't have that in Charlotte. It's supposed to be coming, installing the food. I'm such a picky eater because I have a very sensitive stomach. And when I was in Atlanta, I was eating so much stuff I don't normally eat. And there was just so much good food. I was like, wow, Charlotte doesn't have this. Like, why can't Charlotte have good food? I want good food. I want to go to places and see real food, not like bar bites and finger foods and hors d'oeuvres and little snacks. I feel like all the places I go to in Charlotte besides Stats, shout out to Stats, and I think that's why Stats is like what they call it, tried and tested and tried and tested, whatever. There's a term they use it like as far as one of the best black-owned establishments in Charlotte, North Carolina, is that they actually are the only establishment I can think of that is like a bar/club and has a full real menu, like real food, not just wings and fries. It's very hard to find that in Charlotte, like a real restaurant that also has a vibe, like a real restaurant with vibes. And it was so easy in Atlanta. It's just so easy. We went to what's that place we went to for brunch on Saturday? The food was good. It was a little empty, but I was like, oh, this food is good. Got some oxtail. Then we went to a place I always love to go for dinner. What's that place? Rocksteady. Food was good. I forgot my jerk chicken in the fridge. I'm still tight about that because it was so good. Like just even the next day, went to Obi's house after we went to food trucks in front and just getting simple turkey, fried rice and plantain, like Nigerian food. I can never get that in Charlotte. That tastes that
That's
good.
why I'm going to piggyback for the comment you just made earlier, because a lot of people say that, especially me living in Houston. Oh my God, people have this idea. I don't want to be around too many Nigerians, or I don't want to be around too many Africans. And I could kind of get when they're saying, but at the same time, I push back on those type of comments, because the same people that will complain about that will go somewhere they don't have that many people, and then they're also lacking certain things. Everything is a give and take. For example, if you're somewhere with a lot of Nigerians, you have a lot of food options of Nigerian food. You have all the, so it's like you can't
You have a
pick
lot
and
of bars
choose.
that play Nigerian
Right,
music.
you have a lot, but the same, you can't say it's different for someone saying I don't care for Nigerian, want to be around Nigeria, but you don't care for Nigerian culture, and you don't care for the food, and you
But
don't
no, I
care for
think
the
there's a middle
music.
ground because I love my
I didn't
culture.
listen.
But
Let me land. Let me land. What I'm saying is at the same time, you go into certain places, and I always say it's not about just these. Everywhere has major cities. Gino saw about his cousins in Houston, they move in STL. I watch my girl from there, and they go to restaurants. Every major city has nice restaurants, but they don't have the vibe. That's the difference. Everywhere has nice restaurants. Everywhere has nice places. We're in 2024. They have the nice restaurants. They have the cute stuff. They have the all this stuff, but they don't have the vibe. And that's what I could say. What Atlanta and Houston has is the vibe. Like it's not
vibe.
just the aesthetic part. They have the. You're gonna eat good food. You're gonna get a good vibe. You're gonna see your own people. You're gonna hear some reasonable music. I'm not someone basing my going out just based on, oh, I need to be around a certain amount of this type of people, or I need to hit something.
I don't do
I
that.
consider myself to be somewhat open-minded. I don't need to go to the same things all the time, but I say it all the time when it comes to especially major cities, you have to curate your experience. But some cities, if you really are looking for certain things, it's going to be much harder for you to find it because it's just not there. So it doesn't matter how much you go out, it doesn't matter how much research, it doesn't matter, it's just not there. And like I said all the time, when people mention like Charlotte, I've been to Charlotte 9 times. I've been to Charlotte.
You're making numbers.
The reason why I would love to be in the same city with my sister, I really would. She may think I was proving a point. That's great, but I don't like the vibe in Charlotte. I don't like the black scene in Charlotte. Those are some of the major reasons. Then it's not cheap to live in, especially considering what they're paying people. It wasn't just.
Well, we look at the sirens by you. We don't have that many sirens.
I know they're coming. They go into the hospitals. So there's a reason why there's certain things like it just wasn't there. And like I said at the time, some people, we're Black African Americans. Some people say, oh, I want to go somewhere with a lot of Black people. You can go to cities with a lot of Black people, still not get the environment you're looking for. It's more than that. It's about having, like I said, Atlanta does it well. Can it get a little ratchet here and there? Of course. But I think that's for any major city when it comes down to, because you have to cater to different people. I remember seeing one post online was it months ago, and they're like, someone commented Atlanta's turned into Africa. We're playing all these Afro beats everywhere, and like people like, it was like a thread, and people are like annoyed by it. You may want to go and hear Afro beats. Everybody don't want to hear that. Some people want to hear Big Mama, like when they go out, that's what they want to hear. They don't want to hear. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to be real too. And that's why I like having the options. And you know what I mean? Like everything is not for everybody. We can't make everybody. I don't like trying to make everybody like what you like or want what you want. We all can't be the same. But the reality is that there are certain places, there's certain cities that do a better job at catering to certain groups of people. And like I said, when it comes specifically to Black people, I think Atlanta and Houston take it. I don't know of any. I'm not saying other cities aren't
Charlotte
trying.
has a good Black scene.
Hmm?
Charlotte has a good Black scene. Charlotte's issue that they're just not cultured. Charlotte has a lot of Black people.
Song culture, I do Afrobeats every day. Yeah, so if you're someone that wants Afrobeats every day, Charlotte, that may be hard to get because that's just not the vibe you're gonna get. That's Rihanna. That's just. She said, "I'm crying in Charlotte." Yeah, that's just the truth. So like, I feel like sometimes when people, you have to be real about what's important to you. If you're a girl, we talk about all the time. I don't suggest anyone moving for a relationship or moving with the idea that they're going to move somewhere and have this great love life, because it could be a challenge everywhere. But I won't still take away the fact that location still does matter. So if you're someone that says, I want to date a Ghanaian guy, and then you go move somewhere there's no Ghanaians, that doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? So you still have to, you know what I mean? The field of work you're in. For example, someone's in oil and gas, Houston's a great place. It's very big on oil and gas energy. You know what I mean? So it's like that's another reason why we have a lot of Nigerians, other foreigners, and Africans here, because of that industry. So you have to be real about what you want and what you're looking for, and then you choose accordingly. Of course, a lot of places have potential. Nowhere is perfect. But I could say at the time, even after going back to New Jersey and being there for so long, like it was just very hard. It's not to say the people. We could be in a place where the people are there. For example, something like New Jersey is top five with Nigerians. They have a very large Nigerian population,
But we don't
but they
have the
don't have
space.
a crowd. They don't have the spaces in the crowd for young Black professionals, Nigerians included. They don't have it. At least I didn't find it when I was there all those years, and I tried. I searched. They don't have it. So it's not to say, like I said, it's not about just having the numbers. It's about the cities. For example, somewhere like Atlanta, Houston, very business friendly. People are more
DMV.
entrepreneur minded. People are people are really, out there trying to, make changes, filling gaps, and make some money. So, hi, Evie. Evie said, last time I went to AT, the nightlife scene segregated between Black Americans and Africans. Maybe that's why people are mad about Africans playing all the time. Honestly, who be mad if we're going to be real I think it's more Black American men. Because the Black American women are in the club, they're dancing. They be in these sections even more than us. They in there. Like I'm like, wow. Like when I go to even in Houston, I'm like, wow. Like a lot of these girls are American.
Same thing in Charlotte. All the African guys are American girls.
Let's not even get to that conversation. It's the guys that be mad, but you're right because like I said, like, and I could do the right here and there, but it's like as a Nigerian person, like a lot of people want to go to the club and hear their music. You know what I mean? Like that's what they want to hear. So. Like I said, you have to be real. What are you looking for? If you don't try, it's like I use this example all the time. It was the dancing. I was talking to someone. What was it? At the convention over the weekend, they're like, we're talking about something about people trying to be unique, like when people try and like be different. And then he was like, yeah, sometimes when people are always doing something, there's a reason. I always use like nursing, the career nursing, for example. I'm in Houston, nurses have a very bad reputation, right? So a lot of times people will be like, oh, even like you'll hear like in conferences, like passes, and I get what they're saying. They'll be like, oh, everybody doesn't have to be a nurse. You could be something different.
People are jealous of nurses.
Listen, I get when they say that, but at the same time, if you see a lot of people doing something, there's something there. If you see a lot of people moving somewhere, there's something there. They're not just crazy. They're not just dumb. Like they're not leaving their comfort zone. They're not doing all these things because they just want to follow a trend. I understand there's a lot of followers in this day and age, and a lot of people want to be unique and they don't want to follow a trend and they want to, be on the what's that path? There's a term they use on the something like the soul path or whatever. But sometimes when people are doing something, or a lot of people are doing something, there's a reason why. They're getting something out of it. They're seeing something in it. They're benefiting from it one way or the other. So it's not to say, oh, well, everyone's moving to Houston. Let me go move to Austin. Austin, I haven't been yet. I'm gonna get there this year. I heard it's a beautiful city, but I met a girl. She was there for 8 years. She was miserable. Social life was disgusting. She's in
Why
Houston.
was she there for 8 years if it was that miserable? Why she stay 8 years? I would have stayed there for 8 years.
There's a lot of reasons, a lot of personal reasons I'm not gonna get into. But she moved to Houston within a year, bubbling social life, friends out and that. So I'm not to say that Austin's a bad place because people could be, but like right, even I've never been to Austin. I know I can't compare Austin to Houston. They're not the same, especially for like a Black person in terms of social. Salt and Culture just said, don't do Austin. Thank you. I haven't been there, Salt and Culture, but I don't need anyone to tell me that. I've done my research. I know that type of vibe. It may be cute and fun or whatever, but I can't compare it to Houston. So at the same time, when you see a lot of people doing something, trust me, or going somewhere, they have their reasons. They have their. Oh, Evie, yeah, you have it. Said Austin is beautiful, but living there, no, thank you. It's the capital of Texas. It's what I mean.
Like so, I always forget that
it's the capital of Texas. So I'm gonna get there. Don't worry, I'm gonna have the vlog and everything. I'm gonna get there. But what I'm saying is that I feel like sometimes
get to Charleston. So hopefully we both get to the places we've been screaming about.
Some people are like, oh, everyone is. Oh, this place is like like even in Houston, all the posts people are like it's crowded. Don't come no more. It's crowded no more. And even the people here may feel as if like like what's like they in life. We talk about we have this quote: familiarity breeds contempt. Whatever you're familiar to, whatever you're used to, for the most part, you're never going to truly value it because it's what you have and it's what you know, and it becomes your standard, right? So I'm sure some of these historians will be like, y'all, they know their city is lit, but they probably don't feel like it's that lit the way people are running here, So that's just life. So I say all the time, I know Houston gets a lot of hate, and I get it. I understand people may feel like, it's the fourth largest city. It's going to be third soon. Very popular, right? But I say all the time, like I said, Nana's been here a few times. I don't think she's been here as many times as I've been to Charlotte. But I say all the time, it's about the experience you want. Because I'm telling you, my friend came, what was it, in May for the OTC weekend.
I really
Very
wish I
bougie. I told that very bougie. So we didn't do no Nigerians, like nothing. And to this day, still is like, oh my God, I love Houston. Even the YouTuber I follow been to many cities in America, many cities. She came to Houston. Me and my other friend took her out. We went to Tulu and River Oaks District. She said this is the best place in America. That she don't understand why people are living in these other cities wasting their time. If she was in America, there's no other city. She's been to California. She's been to all these made America or DMV, all of them. She don't understand why people are wasting their time. Houston is the best. So I'm not saying this like just trying to just gas it up, but I'm telling you something is here. Whether you want to find it, whether you want to take advantage of it, whether you want to do your own part, that's up to you. Like I said, there's nowhere without its own issues. I have issues with Houston, trust me. I have my issues with them. I annoyed going out, the price, everywhere they want to be. They be doing too much sometimes. I have my issues, but I still won't take it for granted because when I go to other cities and I speak to other people and they think about where I was coming from, just the social aspect of it. A lot of cities don't have it. They don't have it. So yeah, Atlanta's a vibe. Atlanta's cool. And what do you feel as if, in terms of Atlanta, what is something in Atlanta that is lacking in Charlotte?
So this is actually relevant to Song Coach's comment. She's talking about Charlotte, capital of 90s R&B. If I hear "Can We Talk for a Minute," I will lose it, LOL. So I feel my biggest issue I would say with Charlotte, I feel like I have yet to find an upscale, sophisticated Black scene. I feel like when I go to Black-owned establishments, it's either ratchet or everyone is old. Like, it's very hard to find like a place for young people that's really upscale. And then what I do find I like better in Charlotte when I go to just rooftops, when I go to fancy restaurants, because Charlotte is very diverse. I tell people that all the time. Like when I go to a lot of these places, when they're not even Black owned, there's still mostly Black people there. Like Charlotte is a very diverse city.
When we use the word diverse, diversity doesn't mean a lot of Black people. Diverse means a lot of different types of.
Charlotte is diverse. The issues that people don't necessarily mix, but Charlotte is diverse. There's Hispanic people, there's Asians, there's African Americans, there's Caribbeans, there's Africans. Charlotte is a diverse city. But would I say we're all together like in New York, kumbaya partying together? No, I wouldn't say that. I would not say that. But Charlotte definitely is a diverse city. Definitely is a diverse city. They have a lot of different people here, but everyone kind of stays in their own little world. Everyone stays in their corner. Everyone stays together. So, that can be a bit challenging because I want to be diverse. Like I was shouting out, check out the Union on Monday night. Me and my friend went on Monday, and I feel like I have never seen anywhere that diverse in Charlotte. The Union, I also say Lost and Found isn't too bad. Even though I haven't been to Lost and Found in 2 years, shout out to Lost and Found, Love is Blind. I know that it made them popular. I believe they're closed down and they're about to open up at another location. But Lost and Found is also a place in Charlotte that I found to be very diverse. The Union and Lost and Found. But most places I go to in Charlotte, if it's not like a restaurant, I feel like it's like one demographic. Like people don't really mix together in Charlotte. That's what I could say. They don't mix together in Charlotte. So
Charlotte is 40% white, 35% Hispanic, 35% Black, 50% Hispanic, 6% Asian. Okay.
Charlotte's diverse for sure. Not that many Asians, I could say, because 6% that's low. But Charlotte is definitely diverse. Ross Kosh said people and content creators moving out of Atlanta said is burnt out. Song culture and a terrible imbalance of male energy too. Yes, that's what I think I could say about. As soon as you walk into Atlanta, you just feel the difference compared to being in Charlotte. Like the men are honking at you, people are grabbing you.
No, I went to Atlanta. I was looking so basic. I walked to go pick up some Thai food from the hotel. I was telling my cousins 3 people honked at me, wearing sneakers and a dress with sunglasses. I was laughing. I was just like, yo, honestly, I think the energy is even harder than Houston. To be honest, the energy is just like, whoa. Like, I'm like, what is wrong with these people?
Yeah, Atlanta, you're right about that. Evie said, to be honest, if you have a good partner, make the means you desire. Houston is where it's at. More diverse scenes here compared to the cities with high Black population. That's true for sure. Song coach said the Union, yes, the Union is on South Boulevard, so it's close to me. It's basically not too far from the CVS. Like if you're familiar with what's it called, Atherton Mill, whatever, where the Sephora is, the Kava, that area. like a little further back, like by the YMCA, that area, like the Union on a Monday night. Because think about it, Monday night, almost everything in Charlotte is closed. So the few places that are open are gonna pop. That Union I went to, and it was like an NBA game that night. I was like, wow, there's a lot of people in here. Another place on Monday, me and my cousin went to Steak 48. I love the vibe. I was like, Ngozi would like this vibe. I love the vibe. Mind you, they wasn't playing Afro beats. They wasn't playing Caribbean music. So that's the thing. Like for me,
So I went to Steak 48 in Houston. I'm gonna go.
for me, like I'm open-minded. I just like a vibe. I want a vibe of cute people dressed up, having fun, socializing, a nice environment. Like stay. And she was like, "Yeah, it's been crazy today. I don't know why, but she's like, yeah, Sunday night is usually crowded." And I was yapping. My cousin's like, "Oh, you love talking." I'll talk to the bartender. She told me different spots in Charlotte. She was like, Sunday nights are lit at Steak 48 because everywhere closes early and they take people up to 10 or 11 p.m. So, and then Mondays are lit because Monday in Charlotte, only thing you can do is really go to the mall or Aura. Aura opens on Mondays, or go to the mall. Everything is closed on Mondays in Charlotte. So the few people that open and make sense is going to pop because everyone is forced to go to those places because everywhere else is closed. Only places I know of that open on Monday night is Aura and the Union, outside of restaurants, like actual rooftops. All the rooftops I know of close on Monday. So yeah, go check out the Union Song Culture on a Monday night. I think you'll like it. How are the men different in Charlotte? So the men don't really talk, and you don't even see a lot of men. Everywhere you go is mostly
It's
women.
women. It's women. That's the best place for any man. Move to Charlotte.
Yeah, the men they don't. They, a lot of men, even the African men I've dealt with, they don't believe in going on dates. And I don't know if they're just broke because Charlotte is expensive. So I feel like it's easy to be broke in Charlotte. You pay all these taxes, the rent isn't that cheap, and then the salaries are low. So I don't know. I don't want to give men excuses because you can still take someone on a $50 date, even if you make like 60K or 50K. You don't need to be a millionaire to go on dates. But I've noticed the energy living in Charlotte, North Carolina, even amongst African Nigerian men, very low effort. Very like, oh, let me come over. Oh, I want to talk. Let's lay down. You're not laying down. We're not doing that. If you want to talk to me, take me to a restaurant. Like, and it's been multiple. Like, it's not just. There's one that was really bad, a really bad situation. Like, he was for the streets, but the rest of them, it still was pretty bad. It was like I would have to like, okay, are we going like? And mind you, I'm not even such a dinner like going out to eat. I'm a picky eater, but I was like, wow, like these men don't know how to date.
Yeah, they couldn't survive in Atlanta or Houston.
They don't know how to date. The men I meet, and this, even with African American men, like one thing I started noticing is like I would go on a date and the guy wouldn't eat. And I'm just like, wait, hold on. I told my cousins about it. She's like, that's weird. At first, I'm like, I don't care. I'm gonna eat in front of you. You don't want to eat. But I was like, this is because he doesn't have money. Like it's clear as day. Like he's not eating because he doesn't have money. Or trying to invite me to his house. Oh, let me cook some steak for you. I'm like, I don't know you. I'm not coming to your house. Like and like it's really, really. That's what I could say. The energy here is like the men here, in my experience, very extremely low effort. Extreme. Like Atlanta, you meet a guy, the next day y'all at brunch. You meet a guy, that same night y'all going to dinner. You meet a guy, the next morning you at
Big
breakfast.
mama, big mama, big mama, big mama.
Like Atlanta, I was telling my mom on the phone yesterday. We was on the phone almost 4 hours. Like, mommy, I'm so happy I didn't move to Atlanta and Houston. I wouldn't be the same person. Like Charlotte will make you really. Charlotte will make you humble. Charlotte will let you be celibate easily.
And the competition is low.
Charlotte is very easy. Like this. Let me not even be negative. That's a video on its own. Lyra Ness said Atlanta is the entertainment capital where Black wealth is booming. Ras Kosh, content creators was living in Atlanta, moving to Houston, NYC, DC, Miami. Said Atlanta is not a safe place to live. Yeah, I heard a lot about the crime.
Point to me because even think about the Lennox Mall that I talked about in our last video that was so hyped, and I went to a couple of times when I was last there in November, and I was like, nah, you have to go through metal. I'm like, I've never seen that. Like to enter there, people, no cameras, no nothing. Like you hear people getting like raw, all that stuff inside the mall. I'm like,
Yeah, people come to say, hello, ladies. Hey, so culture, thank you. Check out the Union on Monday. You go to Aura if you want chill vibes. Aura I always like, but you're gonna be hearing elevator music for the most part. That's the issue with a lot of places in Charlotte. They know what they're doing. They want to keep a certain crowd, so they're not gonna play Big Mama. Big Mama, like Union will play Big Mama, like they'll play that, but it's not gonna be ratchet. Do you get what I'm saying? Like I feel like it was that perfect balance. Like they still played all the different types of music. It was so many different types of people in there. I would go there again. Evie made that face about the dates. Yeah, girl, let's not even start. Gino said, I haven't taken a woman out on a date since 1994. I don't take women out, I just chill. Yeah, you must live in Charlotte. Miss
Or
K
you
said,
must not do, you must date a certain type of women.
I've been warned about Atlanta a long time ago, so I never wanted to visit there. Warned about what? Do you guys have a StreamYard link? I'd love to come up and share. Oh, sure. We'll share the link. You can come in.
Yes, I just shared it for anyone who's lived in either Charlotte, Houston, or Atlanta, at least two of the three. If you would like to call in, just talk about similarities and differences. We're not going to be too long today, but just so we can talk more about, you know, those similarities and differences of which one you prefer. So I just shared the link, Salt and Culture. And feel free to join. For people joining in, hi everyone, hope you guys are good. We're talking about our weekend in Atlanta and the differences between Atlanta, Houston, and Charlotte, and why I still prefer Houston and I still prefer Charlotte. If she was to relocate, it would most likely be Atlanta over Houston. She still prefers Atlanta over Houston for her personal reasons. So we're just talking about, you know, the differences and you know, what each city has to offer, you know, why people choose, you know, each city. And like I said, you know, I'm a numbers girl. I'm about the money. You know, Texas is, to me, is where it's at.
More affordable for sure.
For sure. Like, I said $2.79 a gallon of gas, and I've gotten it lower. Costco today. Okay, so when I go to New Jersey and how expensive, I was like, oh my gosh. Like for everyone,
Atlanta it was two something. Charlotte, you're not gonna get two something from the
right. We even talk about cost of living, and you can't even compare because some people be like, oh, like New Jersey's more expensive. People get paid more. Right. And some places are cheaper, but I feel like for Houston, particularly, it doesn't necessarily work that way. Like I feel as if, not to say that, because a lot of people and creators do talk about struggling like to find good jobs. And so I guess I am biased. If you're not like an oil for healthcare, it could be a little bit difficult to find like a good paying job. But once you get that decent paying job, your money goes so much further than being somewhere like New Jersey or even North Carolina.
I love your show. I'm always just listening on the back end. But you know, every time you talk about Charlotte, I'm just like, hey, God, I want to say something. I want to say something so bad.
Come help me, Culture, because she always, you know, she always trying to come at my city, Houston. So I think you're here to defend me.
I've gone to Houston because I know I was talking to you guys about it. So you guys were there when I was like, oh, I'm going to go to Houston. I think that was like last year. So I went for New Year and I liked it, but the problem is I do almost everything myself. I do I go out myself and stuff. So I went out in Houston. I liked it, but I just felt a bit unsafe. I don't know why.
What type, if you don't mind me asking, what type of places were you going to? Like, do you remember like some of the spots?
I was around the Galleria for a week. And yeah, I don't know. I just had a vibe. It's not that it wasn't.
It can be a bit sketchy. The Galleria area is all the time. The mall is nice, but once you make one right or left, Sage Road or this one, I'd be driving through it. I'd be like, "Woo, this area is." I don't suggest people even live by the Galleria. It's sketchy.
Only the people who live in Houston understand when I tell them about the area that I see. Because I just feel like any moment I'll get kidnapped. And I'm from New York, so I'm not scared of anything.
What part of New York are you from?
Harlem. I live in honestly, I've lived in every borough in New York that you can think of. I've even lived in Newark. I've lived in every borough except Staten Island. I've never lived in Staten Island. But yeah, so when I went to Houston, I enjoyed it to some extent. I thought it was very beautiful, but I just felt like if I don't look very well, somebody can snatch me and throw me inside their car. So I was like, hey,
we talk about human trafficking in Houston. So it's not like
the number one city in the world in America for human trafficking. And I didn't know that until I moved there.
My best friend almost cried. She was just begging me, don't do it. And I was like, no, but like my heart is calling me. I want to go figure out.
So you the one that's lived in a lot of cities before, like a lot of major cities, other than New York?
No, I don't think I've lived in a lot of major cities, like mainly New York.
Okay, maybe there's another subscriber who moved around a lot. I can't. Is that? Then you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, that's not her. It's another name.
Phoenix. Okay, she's lived in Charlotte. So have you lived in Charlotte?
She's in
Huh?
Charlotte right now. She
Oh,
lives
you
in
live in
Charlotte.
Charlotte
I
now?
see your sister sometimes when I go out, probably like 2 times.
Oh, so how long have you been there, and how do you feel about it?
I'm tired. I'm tired. So I've been here for like over 2 years, a little over 2 years now. And I think that Charlotte is an incredibly beautiful city, very green. The air alone, it's incredibly beautiful, very green. I think it's so if you have a partner in Charlotte, I feel like it's a dream. If you have a partner, living in Charlotte just feels like a dream. I don't know. Also, I work remotely, so let's just put that into consideration, right? I don't know if I would be able to do it if I had to go into an office. I'll probably not. I don't know. But from someone who works remotely, I think I love that it rains here a lot. I don't know. I just think it's such a beautiful city. And if you have a partner, there are enough things to do that if you don't, and you can get distracted with your partner. That's how I see it, right? But if you're like me and your blood is giddy giddy a little bit and you like to explore things, you will explore in 5 seconds and then you will now sit down and you start looking. Then the city will be looking at you, you'll be looking at it. So I don't, and if you're single and you're Black or African and you have a certain taste, so to speak, and you're not necessarily too open to, then I think I would only advise my enemy to do Charlotte if they're single. I'd be like, oh my God, yes.
Yeah, I think Charlotte would be good for like young couples. Like they didn't have kids yet,
Yes.
like young couples. Like my friend D even DM me, and I'm gonna call her tomorrow. She's like, Nena, I'm moving to Charlotte. I'm gonna be working in Concord. And she just got married. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. I feel like Charlotte would be such a cute city for like young married people
Yeah.
before they start having children. Like
Yeah.
explore, go to the mountains, go to the beach, go to Outer Banks,
Go to Asheville.
yeah, like go to Asheville, go like just explore the Carolinas, go to Atlanta.
Yeah.
But I feel you because that's the issue I'm having. I feel like in Charlotte because I be trying to be in denial because people are like, Nana, you only want a Nigerian man. I'm like,
I
that's not
remember
true.
when you used to love this city.
No, but I still like Charlotte though.
I thought amazing.
No, but don't get me wrong, I still like Charlotte. I
Yeah.
actually really do still like Charlotte. But I realize sometimes the things I want are just not here.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. Like it's the reality. I like Charlotte. I really do like it. I feel like it suits my person. Like you say, your blood is giddy giddy. My blood is not giddy giddy. You get what I'm saying? Guzzy's blood is giddy giddy. That's why she's in Houston. You know what I mean? Like for me, like I feel like it's the perfect balance of not super boring, but not super lit. Like right now, we get off this live right now, and I can find somewhere to go in Charlotte. Even
See,
at
like,
10
I
o'clock.
can't because I do a lot of things on my own. That means like I have to hype myself also because it's not like New York or somewhere that if I go out, but first of all, my tribe is there, right? So it's different. So I'm hardly going out myself in New York, right? But here, if I say, okay, I'm going to go out or whatever, I'm not necessarily meeting people who are open to talking and explorative. Like
And
they're
I
very
brought that point up about Houston. I brought that point up about living in Houston. It's funny you're making that point because I said it like every city, people are not as friendly everywhere. So people have this idea that like anywhere you go, you're in the South, people are so friendly. That's not true.
Not in
Like,
Charlotte.
and
My
I can say
neighbors, I enter the elevator with my neighbors. They look at me. I say hi. They don't reply. Like they don't. They don't talk.
You're with people who are from New York in your. I will guarantee you the people inside in your apartment are probably from New York. That's why they don't answer.
Like
they're also from
I think when people say about community, right? And I feel like no matter where you are too, that's a good point you're making is that you can go out by yourself, but it's only to so much you're going to do by yourself that's going to be fun. That's just the reality. It's not the same. It's not the same. It's a very different experience.
Yeah, I go out a lot on my own, and because I don't have too many friends here, right? And the people who my tribe, so to speak, which is very, very little, they're not interested in a lot of the things that I'm interested in. right? So if I want to go dancing, which I love going dancing, I don't mind that because at least I know that I go where the DJs are. I like the DJs. I dance for my DJ. I don't care, and I'm very happy. And then I go home. But like, if you're going to eat, you're going to do other things, um, going to parks, going to just doing. I do a lot of things on my own. So at some point, it's just like if you're going and the people themselves there aren't like you in some capacity, are not curious to meet other people. And especially also one thing that people need to be very to really understand if you're like from a very big city coming here is that the culture also there's a strong section culture which does not allow people to mingle as much. I'm just going to be honest. When you structure an environment, and that's something that I talk to the DJs that I like here, and they really get it because it's true. If you want something that's highly enjoyable, that anybody from anywhere can just pop up to your area, you want to make sure you're curating your space in a manner that forces or allows people to mingle easily. If you don't look at the science of that, and you have sections, obviously people cannot mingle. If you don't, you have to come with the people who you know. It is extreme. It takes an extreme amount of effort, and it, in essence, doesn't even make sense, especially because in sectioned areas, very few people, and I'm talking the culture of Charlotte, for example, few people are sitting at the bar.
They don't even have bars at these clubs. They barely have a bar. The bar, you'll see a big club with a bar with 6 seats.
Exactly.
How can you be a big club? 6 seats is in your bar. You know why your club is empty every night.
And no one sitting at the bar. It would just be population, me, maybe, and one guy who sees me, I want to say good morning, and not buy you a drink, but want to talk your ear off, and you're like, no.
Yeah, you make a great point. I was going to, that section culture is really a mess here, and I feel like me and my friends and my cousins talk about it all the time especially because we don't drink, right? So some people might feel like, oh, they're being bougie, or maybe these girls are broke. That's not really it. It's like you need to give me something else besides hookah and alcohol.
That is why the African spots for me are ideal because they make a concerted effort to not do that, except maybe safari and whatnot. But still, even then, they make, for the most part, a lot of the African spots here, I feel, make a real effort to not create that type of like, you guys are in this corner, you're in that corner, so to speak. I don't know if it's just the music, maybe that's.
Are you sure? Because I feel like the African clubs do the section thing here too, even the words.
Safari does, yeah.
I feel like they even do it worse. And you go to African clubs and you don't have a section. It's like you're a broke bitch, or you're waiting for someone to invite you to their section. It's intimidating. And like African clubs trying to, like, I can walk into the Union and just sit at the bar and just relax. I don't have eyes in my face. I don't have married men staring at me. I don't have like that African club. Sometimes they can be so, and that's why I like places like, have you tried Fume on Thursday? They started doing Afrobeat night.
I've done on Thursday.
Yeah, they started doing Afrobeats on Thursday. And I feel like the vibe is more like, if you like the crave vibe, you like the spice vibe, like you like more of a chill vibe. It was cool. It was cool. Can
I say something, Mungo? I think that at some point, I'm just a suggestion. I know there's a girl on IG who does this, that every week or every weekend, she talks about things to do in Charlotte, right? And I sometimes think and I say, oh God, whenever you two actually do that, because you're speaking to a completely different demographic, I think, right? That's why I follow you guys, right? So if I were to get like, oh, things to do in Charlotte every week or weekend, whatever, I will follow you guys, because like just in one live, every single live, you give tips on what to do. The last time I was in your live, you kept talking about this I forgot what it's called. Like they have desserts.
Crave.
What's it called? Crave. Mm-hmm. I didn't know about Crave until until I started watching you guys. So things like that. Union, I don't know about Union, right? And like when
low key, I'll be outside. Like low key. It's low key.
Good tips.
Because so, like, I know the vibe. We're me and my friends actually think about starting something in Charlotte, because I know the vibe that's missing here. right? And I know what I'm looking for, but these club people won't listen because they just want to pop bottles. They just want to pop bottles and have empty clubs every weekend. You cannot. McDonald's is making millions off of burgers that are $7. Okay, Crave desserts are $13. Okay, places are making money, and I know it's easier said than done, but I think they issue a lot of black establishments and why they close down. So we're gonna have because this is a black-owned business, right? So I'm finally gonna edit out 2 vlogs, black-owned business in Charlotte. I really think the main reason why a lot of black-owned businesses fail, besides them not having the structure and not having the history, they no one is passing down information like other cultures. I think black-owned businesses, including Africans, focus too much on section culture and alcohol.
Oh my God, it's horrible.
They focus too much
caring about that. We used to just care about dance.
They
like
focus too much on alcohol, and they're targeting 1% of the population who can afford that. In these times with the recession and this economy, I know so many guys, because they don't have money, they just don't go out no more.
Okay, that's what I wanted to come up here and even and confirm with you guys. Like, the reason why I say I'll only send my enemy to Charlotte to come on dates, right? I'd be like, oh my God, you single girl. Yeah, go to Charlotte. It's gonna be great. No, you're gonna be celibate if you have standards. Now, if you don't have any standard, you will never be celibate in this life. Your life will just be enjoyment, consistent enjoyment, right? So I love it for if you don't have any standard. If you have okay, the standard that I have for myself and that a lot of people my age, I'm 37, right, have for themselves, then this is not going to be it, because again, the male to female energy ratio is so imbalanced, right? You would always see in any kind of event, there are not a lot of upscale event that I've seen, but maybe I'm thinking maybe I just don't know about them. Maybe someone does and I'm not hip to it. But it doesn't matter what the event is, if it's a little bit upscale, not upscale, whatever, like all together, women will always be out. They will always show out. They will always be there. They will be colorful. They will be vibrant. They will bring the best energy, right? Now, if you think that you find men in these, I don't know, maybe in the spaces that you just won't.
So
they're either married or they are going with their partners, or they just don't. I personally think they don't have money.
That's the key with Charlotte, man. They don't have money. But even the African guys, Nigerian guys don't have money. So Atlanta is just totally different. And again, let's be fair. These major cities also have a lot of scammers. Let's be fair. Like a lot of men in those cities, they're scamming, right? So they can throw money on women. They can buy those sections every weekend. They can give a woman money to go buy her a Bottega bag because they're not working hard for the money, right?
So that's the angle.
I don't think Charlotte has scammers like that. I don't think. It's only a few that I know of, but I don't think they really have or not I know of, but I would suspect maybe do that. But I don't think you can compare it to like Atlanta and Houston. They're known for like scammer central. Like people here work hard for their money.
They work.
Charlotte's rent is expensive. Then everything they tax. You tax on your car. They tax on your clothes. They tax on your shoes. And then the salaries are low.
The salaries are low. Yeah.
No, audio is noisy. I don't know if you want to check it.
I don't know. That's how I've been muting myself. Mute yourself when you're not talking. So that's what I say about Charlotte. Have you tried Spice? Have you been to Spice?
Have I been to Spice?
Mm-hmm.
Is it the one? Is like Nigerian and Asian?
Yeah, like the fusion one. Have you been there?
Oh, it's right next to my house. Yeah, I walked there by mistake thinking it was like a Nigerian spot. They were like, oh no, it's fusion. But the music was great.
Yeah, it's not bad. I like it. I feel like it reminds you of Crave, like with Afrobeats. But have you gone on a Tuesday? Because they have like half off sushi, half off wine on Tuesdays. And like some Tuesdays, depending, it's like a hit or miss. Because Tuesday's a pretty boring day anywhere.
Yeah.
Right? So some Tuesdays, one Tuesday I went and it was packed. And one Tuesday I went and it was
literally down the street from me. Like I literally walked there once just because I thought it was a Nigerian restaurant. I was looking for Nigerian food and someone said, oh my God, just go down the street. I'm like, down this my street? They're like, yeah. And I went there and it was fusion. So I might check it out. Maybe I can check it out today. What time is it? 9? I don't know when they close.
Yeah. I mean, Charlotte, Charlotte is hard. I'm not gonna lie. Like me and my friends, my cousins have come to the conclusion that we just have to do our own thing and have our own events. Because if we're waiting to get the vibe we want in Charlotte, it's just not there.
It's not there. We have to be like these vibes people. You know, there are 1 million people who are like creating their own events and parties and things they like. I think we probably just need to come together. And let me tell you the one event that really blew my mind. And you were there too for it. And you probably will agree to this. Do you remember Nigerian independence?
At RSVP?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that amazing?
It was cool. It was, and it's a nice venue. It was a nice. I came kind of late as usual, but it was a cool vibe. It was a cool vibe.
Very unlike a Charlotte event.
But you have to keep in mind who threw it. You have to keep in mind who the person that threw it, like the type of person that he is. Like he put in a lot into the event.
He did.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's not just like he wants to. I feel like the problem with a lot of people that own establishments, they don't want to give people an experience. They're just worried about making money. Like people want an experience. Like we went to Obi's house on Sunday. Anyone that knows me knows that I'm paying for parties. I'm the cheapest person. I don't believe in paying for parties. I paid $60 cents at Obi's house. I don't regret it.
Where is that? In Charlotte?
No, UIU. We went to Atlanta over the weekend. So we went to Obi's house, and I've never paid $60 for a party in my life. Never.
I went for a good. If I think it's gonna be good.
You would have liked Obi's house.
Yeah,
you would have liked it.
Yeah, if it's good.
And Ngozi, you're on mute. You would have liked Obi's house. It was, and
I need to get my whistle to blow for y'all.
We left early because we were tired and we drove back to Charlotte that night. But like it was like I was like, yo, can we not do Obi's house in Charlotte?
Why not?
Why can't he come to RSVP?
Is that a keychain? I haven't been to Obi's house, but let me tell you. When I told the guy who organized the Nigerian independence, he said, you want to do it? You want me to do it every week? He said, come and do it now. Come and do it with me. I said, I better go. But the way I'm tired right now, the way I don't see anything, I'm like, maybe we should create, even if it's 1 or 2 events, something that people can remember, like, oh, wow, that was something. And I don't think it's that hard. So far as we have like the network, like I know the DJs, I think it's a matter of really discussing what we want the environment to be, the activities to be outside of just drinking. Because I'm sorry, but as African people, I'm just saying, like, we did not, I grew up in Cameroon. I did not grow up in a culture where I need to drink to do a goddamn thing, right? Like, I grew up in a culture where I need music to literally go mad. Like, there is music that would levitate you from this breath. But the vibration that the entire space will carry, you would be lost in it. No one's gonna beg you to go to a thing like that. You would experience FOMO every single time you hear an event like that is happening. Automatic FOMO, because you know that the people who are organizing this are hell bent on you having the absolute best experience, great music. Like, so I don't know.
No, it's coming. I think we have a potential. I think a lot of us are just kind of scared because I've had like this WhatsApp group. This girl I met at a book club. She wants to bring like the young professionals together. You know, they haven't been active. You know, I feel like a lot of people, like, we have the idea, but no one wants to really start.
So like, you just mentioned something now, and this is one of the biggest things that's lacking, right? For people our age group, right? It's like, where do we meet professionals at our age that are also single, that want to mingle and do things like that, right? So we have to start looking into people in different, like, professional group. I don't even think there are enough professional groups in Charlotte that I've seen anyways. So I don't know if you know of any, or if anybody knows of any. I know someone in tech, right, that has people in that field or whatnot. But I would say, like, the first thing to do would be to tap into these professional networks and say, we want something recreational, and we want to invite people from different professional networks, blah, 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 social, professional, all that, and bring everybody together. So you'll see yourselves. That's what's lacking. No one knows where to see their type of person. Mm-hmm. And then when it also comes to, because I keep seeing, like, some of the African American men have told me that, yeah, but if you're looking for men here and money is the thing, like, you know, you're not going to meet someone or whatever. And I would say to that, for example, someone going out to a restaurant and watching and not paying, right? And but paying for you because, you know, you're his, you know, he invited you, and they're not eating and watching you eat is so deep. It's so deep. And to me, like, sweet, I get it, so deep, but I'd rather a man like that, honestly, than someone who will say, let's split the bill.
Right.
Starve, let your mouth be crusty, watch me eat. Okay, deep down, Sha, this man is not completely useless. He doesn't have shame, which is terrible, but he's not completely useless. But I mean, I would not advise anybody to do that. That's crazy. I would say, though, that I wonder if there is a way to be, I like to be inclusive. I still want people to be able to come and meet, you know, or men to be able to go out, right, and mingle and whatnot. And I wonder how to create events and do stuff like this that allows them or that encourages them to go out. Because I don't know what it is. I don't understand what it is. I don't understand what it is.
It's money. It's money. If they have to go somewhere and every time get a section, they're not going to come out.
Right. So if we create a space where, like, we make it very clear, you don't need a section. But then we want also to make sure that all kinds of people can come, right? I want to make sure the professional people can come as well. Let the people who, you know, and I think also another thing for a city like this is proper planning, right? So you have to have, like, curate in events, like, and say maybe for the summer, for the fall, here are the events. Then this person will not get that much money and say, okay, let me save, let me put this, because let's be real, if Charlotte itself as a city, if the finances in the city itself, the city is not paying people accordingly, like, that's just they don't pay, right? So also that would mean that if we are creating events, or if anybody's putting events together, it has to be so well curated, for seasonally curated.
That's true. Like how the Nigerian independence thing was just independence.
We planned this thing for, you know, months in advance, so the turnout was crazy. People had their money, you know, even people who I saw at other events refusing to enter something that was $10, which you know, grown men who stood at the door and refused to enter because it was $10 to get in, right?
Yeah, I paid $40 for his event. That's kind of high. I think I paid $40 to get in.
Yeah, some people, yeah, no, but I'm saying, like, for people who paid, like, there was up to $100 even for that Nigerian independence event. I paid quite a bit, but I'm saying people who even went to that event, right? I've seen them at other events not wanting to get in because it was $10 to get in, so they stood at the door, and I was like,
we're saying people, we're making the point, we're going to round it up. People will pay if you give them what they want.
yes.
If you give people what they want, they're willing to put out a little bit more. Like, for example, I paid $60 on Sunday for Obi's house, but the other day I went to Stats and they try to charge me $40. I walked out of the line and went home because I'm not paying $40 to enter Stats. No disrespect, but I feel like I already know they're not going to play the music I like.
Exactly.
We're going to be crowded. I'm going to be standing. I already know girls are going to be twerking to the left and to the right of me.
Nope.
So mind you, Stats is one of my favorite Black-owned establishments, but I don't care to go to the club. Right? I go to Stats like to eat food, to hang out for brunch, you know, like a day party type of vibe, or like 6 p.m., 7 p.m. I don't care to go to Stats for nightlife because they're not going to play my music.
They're not.
So I'm not paying $40, but I pay $60 to go to a place that will play my music. Right? So it comes down to, like, money, but also you have to just give people what they want. And they will invest more than they usually would if you give people what they want.
I believe that. And plan in advance.
Right. No, but thank you so much for joining Salt and Culture. This is fun. You give me your perspective on Charlotte. Stay tuned. We have some content coming up, and we'll see you around. Bye. So we'll just go through these comments real quick before we end. Pascal said being in Atlanta next week. Oh, nice. Enjoy. Have you been before? Is it your first time? Shelton said, why buy you a drink? You may not like me. Women love sucker. It's not about being a sucker, Shelton. It's any country in the world. Men understand this. Yeah, it's not just, you don't have to buy me a drink. Same, I don't have to give you my number. But if you're sitting here in my ear, talking my ear off for 30 minutes, 1 hour, and you can't even offer me water, that's a red flag. I'm not giving you my number. You're right. You don't have to buy the drink, and I don't have to give you my number. That's tacky. That's so disgusting. Like, what? No. Someone recently moved my air from Florida. NYC said making more money here than NYC because they take too much taxes out. I was shocked. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Florida's no state taxes as well. Evie said not eating at establishment for food is crazy. Where yeah, the economy, you see inflation. Kamala just picked her VP. Her running mate is it Watts. It's going to be interesting in November because people, is I can imagine. I can say I know how I am with money. If I was a man, I would not be, the way I would not be.
I wouldn't be trying to chase 10 girls.
That's the thing that they also don't want to do one at a time. Y'all want to date 6 girls. I don't feel bad for y'all and date reasonable girls because I know some women can be demanding. I get it, but then I would not be out here tricking and spending money on. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But to the point that you can't, and you understand some men that you're going out with them, they don't know what you necessarily will order, and they don't want to embarrass themselves not be able to afford it, right? Because some girls will go out and go order $200 worth of food, they don't have home training, and they don't have sense, right? But yeah, that's people are struggling, man. I was in Charlotte back when I had lots of fun at Carowinds. Oh, nice, little Ernest. You always mention Carowinds. Nena has never been, right? Carowinds. What is that's like?
No, me and my cousin yesterday we was at Steak 48. Again, check out Steak 48 on a Monday night. They do have a happy hour. Also, Bar One is really nice in South Park area, Phillips Place. I need to really make my PDFs because I'm really playing games. Bar One is nice, it's affordable, very classy. South Park is a good place to hang out. But the crowd is going to be a little older. But South Park has so many cute spots. I haven't been to RH Rooftop in so long. I don't really care for their food, but it's a good vibe. Like it's so beautiful and pretty in there. So I'm going to start going to South Park more. But yeah, so we're going to finish this up. Thank you guys so much for joining this live. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of people join in. And we just wanted to basically talk about experience in Atlanta over the weekend. Atlanta's not a real place. So like I had so much fun, but definitely I feel like if I was in Atlanta, I'd be getting in so much trouble. So I'm happy that I chose City of Charlotte, but I also need to like do more to create the environment I want in Charlotte. It's up to me. It's up to me.
Any city you are, of course, there's people still in Houston complaining. Like we said at the time, cities are important, but I've learned as I got older, I think it's more about community, if anything. And I feel like a lot of times people are struggling in cities because they don't have the right people to go out with. You just need that one down friend, couple of people that you can go out with and really, because like I said, I can go anywhere by myself, but it is a very different experience going out by yourself than going out with somebody and having fun with someone else.
Especially if that person has good energy. If they don't have good energy, I'd rather be alone. But if you're going with someone that has
good energy, it's fun. You have nice, I had a lot of fun Houston nights. You know what I mean? So it's like, from Charlotte may not be on the Houston or Atlanta level, but I'm sure it's not like terrible, right? Like this place is way worse. It's okay. I remember one night going out in Charlotte, went to like 6 places. It was like all a dub. I think that was like on a Sunday though. So the days also matter too. Like the days you're going out, and certain places have the night days that they're popular and where people really go out, and the days that are funner. So there's so many factors involved, but you just have to do your own part. Nowhere is perfect. We say that all the time. Everywhere has its issues. Everywhere has its challenges. Girls in Atlanta will complain about dating. Girls in New York will complain about dating. Girls in California will complain about dating. Girls in Houston, everywhere is something. There's always a story. So when you make your decision on where you want to move, you have to put a lot of things into consideration. Things that are really important to you. Mine is, that area, because like I said, I don't advise people making decisions. But let me not say you shouldn't make up a decision based on that, but it shouldn't be solely based on that. I don't believe in someone saying, I'm going to move here because I think I'm going to get married living here. I think that's setting yourself up for a lot of disappointment. It's good to me.
Do you like doing different type of stuff? Because even if it wasn't for this live, I would have been there's a soccer game right now, like Real Madrid so I just feel like a lot of, especially people of color, sometimes they're not open-minded. And the only thing they want to do is club and go to dinner. And I feel like if you limit yourself to that, we're talking with a subscriber on that on Friday. We met a subscriber in Atlanta. And I feel like if you limit yourself to just that in any city, it's going to get tired real quick. Like it's going to get old.
My point again, those other real activities require you to have some type of community. Because it's only but some, like you can go out to eat by yourself. You not to say you can't do other things by yourself, but it's not going to.
You can go to a soccer game by yourself like that. And I'm gonna tell you, we tried to go to another game last week. For all the single girls in here, I ain't saying it's for me because I'm just waiting on the Lord. After that soccer game, the crowd, the amount of men I saw walking in Uptown, I was like, wow, women need to be going to sporting events. Like honestly, like we be going to the wrong places. There were so many men, I was confused. So many men leaving that soccer game. You know, soccer, obviously a lot of African men like soccer, Hispanic men, European men. It was just so diverse, and a lot of guys just in groups with each other leaving the game. So you just have to do, I feel like sometimes people just want to be doing the same stuff, then complain. Like switch up your routine.
They don't
Switch
want
up
to. I said that also on Fridays, what you know, and it's easier. It's easy. Those things you have to start thinking about when there's events. You have to start doing your research. It's not that simple. Eating is simple. Partying is simple. That's why most people do it. It's not to say that all of them don't care about other things, but the other things take a lot more effort and a lot of more planning, and a lot more work.
Yeah, only thing Sean needs to do better with the food. LOL, the food critic gave it an F, and that food critic was right. Like Atlanta this weekend, Atlanta, I was like, oh my God, this is what good food tastes like. Oh my God, this is what good food tastes like. So our coach said, true. I'm not a big foodie, but I'm very adventurous. Me too. I'm such a big picky eater, so I don't really care for going to restaurants, but I like to go out. True. LOL. I hate soccer, but I would go for the vibe. Yes, the vibe at this. I've been to one soccer game 2 years ago when Charlotte FC lost, like in the they won in like the last few minutes. That game was a vibe. So sometimes just try different things. Basketball, a play, museum. They do Discovery Place does science on the what's it called, like something on the rocks, where every last Friday no children are allowed into Discovery Place.
Hi, Mia. We were waiting for you. You late. She said, I think African Americans just want more sophisticated events as mainly our crowd, but they only have clubs for
Yes,
us.
Mia.
Right.
Yes.
Like we said, we could do a big mama, but not every weekend. Not every weekend. We need
Give
something
me
else.
Big Mama, Sexy Red, Glorilla, 20 to 30 minutes. Okay? So I'm not one of these bougie Nigerian American girls like, oh, I only want to hear Davido. I can vibe to try like I'm like that music does get you hyped. Like I'm not
7
gonna
p.m.
lie.
Friday. It's 95 degrees. I ain't
I
got no, and you ain't got me.
Hey, so it's like, trust me, like I was born and raised in America. I can vibe with Black American culture, but I do not want to go to establishment and hear rap music from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. No, I don't want that. That's not my vibe. Okay, let me tell you about Imperial story before we leave real quick. So I tried Imperial last Sunday. I haven't been to Imperial in 1 year since Ngozi came. And the story I'm going to tell you is going to explain why. So we go to Imperial. The rooftop was chilled. It was a cool vibe. Then we went to Spice. After, like, let's check out Imperial at night, because I've never been Imperial at nighttime. I just see like on Instagram, they'll show like long lines, like people are like camped out for Imperial. So we went to, for anyone that knows, Imperial is like a black rooftop in Charlotte. It's really cute. So we go to Imperial by 11 o'clock, packed at night. And then like the DJ is like, oh, who the birthday girl? Who the birthday girl? And this girl is like, that's me. That's me. And like she's twerking, like she went on the floor, did like a handstand. The guy has like a $20 bill. He's putting it in between her butt cheeks, like caressing her behind. He doesn't know her. And she's like twerking like for like 10 minutes. Like I was so embarrassed. And it doesn't mean, mind you, look at me and just acting up. It's not like I'm so uptight, but I just feel like the vibe as like a lot of these clubs is too much. I cannot dress up and look sophisticated to have girls twerking to the front, back, left, and right of me. That's not what I want when I go out. That's not what I want. I want more like a Spice vibe and a Crave vibe, but I want better music.
She said that's disgraceful, very disgraceful.
Like literally, he was like, "Who the birthday girl? That's me, me." Like she, and I'm just like, it's like,
and Imperial. I was there a year ago. The crowd is very young, so it makes sense. That girl must have been like maybe 25 or something.
Didn't look young. She had some shorts on that were like a silk material, so they're rising up in between her butt. I'm just like, this is not my vibe. I don't belong here. I felt like I'm somewhere that I don't belong. Like I got lost. Like carry me. You know that song they talk about? Carry me where I don't. I just felt like I was in an environment that had
for you. Evie said speakeasies are the new club for real. Like Houston, we have a lot of those. Like every second a new speakeasy is popping up. We have ballets. I went to
I would do ballet.
Show in March.
Remember we used to do ballet? Remember we did ballet at Maria Producta?
Hi, Chimobi. Yes, it was nice seeing you this weekend. Yeah, this is a subscriber we met in Atlanta. You know, people watching from everywhere. It was cool. Yeah, Atlanta's a vibe. Atlanta is fun, but like I
Yes,
said,
Big Mama for Evie, because I don't know what she's saying. She said, y'all
where's Lotto? Look up Lotto. Big Mama. I found it's funny because then I was talking about over the weekend. I was like, what are you talking about? And then yesterday I was with my cousin in the radio and it started playing. I'm like, oh, and I recorded this. I'm like, oh my God. Then I made my reel with the song. If y'all not following me on Instagram, y'all need to go and follow
let's
me.
put our Instagram handles here.
Instagram, because it's about to be wild on Instagram. So if y'all not following me, you wasting time. You gotta follow us. All right.
Coach, I'm gonna DM you because I have to ask you. I have to tell you something. Low key, I kind of want to go to Crave right now, but low key, because I was tired earlier and now I feel rejuvenated. And the soccer game about to get out, so it's gonna be lit in Uptown when that soccer game is finished.
I gotta catch this replay. Hey, yes, you do. Start from the beginning. Yes, because we had I think an interesting conversation. So, Coach, I love stripper rap, but no R&B. I don't do R. I'm not really R&B. To me is like you like trying to sleep or something. I don't want to go out and hear R&B. It's too slow. Like either we're gonna play some house or piano.
It brings an older crowd. It's for an older crowd. R&B is gonna have you partying with people that's your mom's age.
Yeah, Nana Wow 4. This means because you see Wow 4. Yes. Evie said, I've learned so many new righteous songs, not to move Houston. Yeah, it's another life there. Naima said she loves your hair. All right, y'all.
Are you in Charlotte?
All right, we're rounding up. Thank you all so much for watching. Nana's, you should be having your 4-year update video. Maybe you make that a live next Tuesday. Just do that live.
I want to make it a sit down. Should I make it a live next Tuesday?
Sit downs, it's hard for you to get to those. So realistically, you should just make it a live next Tuesday and just go live and just talk about your experience. So it be interactive when people could talk about their experiences with you, with Charlotte, what you don't like, what you do like, if you see yourself being there long term, all those things. So thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you follow, subscribe, any updates that will be on our post tab in our community wall, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Big Mama. Big Mama. Big